Hello, my name is Sarah Collins, and I will be presenting on the VERB program, a program that was established for youth in Columbus, Mississippi. And my group member is Lawrence Hill, and he will present at a later time. Sorry about that. This is the table of contents, and this is pretty much it just explains to you all what we will be covering in this presentation. And I hope you enjoy Dr. Murphy, because this was a tough class, and I am very thankful for Lawrence and I working together to complete this. Now, to describe the community in which your program will serve, we will be serving all types of populations: Black, African American, white, Hispanic, Latinos, Asians, and but the majority in Columbus will be Blacks and whites. As you can see, the program will serve youth from ages 9 to 18. Just a little bit on the demographics. We have males in Columbus, roughly ages 5 to 9, 714. 10 to 14 years of age is 745. 15 to 17 years of age is 412. And the females is 672 for ages 5 to 9. 10 to 14 years of age, 697. 15 to 17 years of age, 463. 18 and 19 years of age, 337. Now, this does not include every youth in Columbus, but these was just some of the demographics that we pulled. As you may know, Mississippi is one ranked, like, I want to say, fifth in the nation for having for being one of the most obese states. Now, this program was established to help youth overcome or combat childhood obesity, and to get children more physical active. Nowadays, more children are kept indoors playing video games, eating unhealthy foods, unhealthy snacks, because of our on-the-go, super busy schedules. Now, the state of obesity report reported that the third highest adult obesity rate in the nation. Better policies for a healthier America. Mississippi adult obesity rate is currently 35.5%, up from 23.7% in 2000 and from 15% in 1990. And as you may know, that is a huge problem. So what this program will pretty much do is get youth active, and we will involve the parents, teachers, school officials, MUW staff, the resource center, and we're going to use everyone to get this off the ground. One goal of the program is to increase the knowledge, improve attitudes and beliefs about teens, regular participation in vigorous physical activity. This goal will be accomplished with continuous update on the number of students participating, their commonly visited places, and the completion of multiple scorecards. The information will be on display throughout the school and in some facilities that offer physical activities. Just to name a few of our stakeholders, we will have VERB staff, MUW staff, our youth, their parents, community leaders, such as church leaders. We have after school programs. Everyone, we have a lot of stake. We have those funders who's going to fund the program, policy makers. Pretty much everyone has a stake in the program, and because of them, we're going to pull this all together. We have coalitions that we're going to involve as well. What is an evaluation? It is a process that analyze the components of a program through several different stages. The purpose of the Lowndes County Childhood Obesity Program evaluation is to determine the efficacy of community-based programs to increase physical activity among teens that lack these activities. The program is funded by the Lowndes County and City School Districts and the Mississippi University for Women, and we will determine through the evaluation overall effectiveness of what level of quality program activities are being implemented. We will identify strengths and weaknesses in program planning, implementation, and program effectiveness through to stakeholders and partner meetings, interviews, webinars, surveys, focus groups, and legislation meetings. There is, according to CDC, there are 6 steps to developing a effective evaluation plan. Step 1, we always want to engage our stakeholders. Why? Because they are the reason why the program is being established. In step 1, we want to engage stakeholders in the planning phase. They will help determine and prioritize key evaluation questions, implement evaluation activities, increase credibility of analysis and interpretation of evaluation information. In step 2, we want them to describe the program. What will the program do? What areas will the program focus on through logic models, evaluation purpose, and even give an overall narrative description. In step 3, we want to focus the evaluation, and during this step, we will identify what type of evaluation we will be doing depending on process, impact, outcome. We want to identify during this phase the primary purposes and intended users. We also want to incorporate a logic model, put together a logic model of stages of development, and develop evaluation questions. In step 4, we want to gain credible evidence. And we will do this by identifying sources of evidence. We will identify everyone's roles and responsibilities to the evaluation. We will create timelines for activities. Identify what methods will be used for evaluation questions. For example, experimental, quantitative, or mixed methods. And then step 5, we will justify conclusions. During this phase, we will analyze all the information that was collected, like the scorecards, attitudes towards the program, and we will interpret and draw conclusions from the data that was collected. And then we will again meet with our stakeholders, roundtables, however, focus groups, face-to-face, surveys, and we will interpret what should we do next and what should we change, what should stay the same, and talk about a little funding. Do we need more funding to get more things done? And then in step 6, we will ensure and share lessons learned through one-page descriptions, newsletters, executive summaries, workshops. We will also even present to policymakers, because as everyone may know, that is a huge issue about funding, and policymakers are always either for you or against you, depending on what your program is doing, how successful it may be. We will also conduct slide presentations to present to the community, stakeholders, and everyone that was involved, and then once again share through radio and television coverage. Now, here's a logic model that me and Lawrence put together during our one of our worksheets that we were completing. Now, as you may see, the inputs, and I apologize, Dr. Murphy, for having to screenshot this, but my computer was acting funny, so this is the best I could do. The inputs was the funders, partners, contractors. We had parents, children, youth, program staff, school officials, state and county officials, national partners, and then we needed materials, volunteers, and we needed time. Of course, we needed equipment. So some of the activities for our outputs were to develop and implement educational materials and programs, newsletters, and comprehensive school policies. Then we went on to add that the USDA Summer Food Service Program will educate youth and adults about the harms of unhealthy eating and habits. Now, that's a big one because first, in order to change what we are putting into our bodies, we must understand the nutrition value behind it. Again, we will support media engagement with some of the local, with the MUW Resource Center. We will get the school media department to partake in getting the news out about the program. Some of our performance measures were to the number of meetings and trainings that we conducted before the program, the number of newsletters and articles that would be published, the number of sponsored lunches, program referrals, parents educated, youth educated, the number of surveys completed, number of success stories, and we definitely want to have some success stories. Not only that, we will focus on the number of likes, shares, etc. for social media, and then to name some. And we wanted to do what type of evaluation is the outcome. We want to know what the outcomes of the program was and the impact. So just to name a few short, medium, and long-term goals. In the short term, we wanted to increase the amount of children participation in physical activity on a daily basis. We wanted to provide educational material for the youth. For the intermediate outcome, we want to decrease childhood obesity numbers in Lowndes County, increase physical activity 60 minutes or more a day, and we want to improve the quality of meal plans in schools and homes of the children. And then just to name a few of the long-term outcomes was to increase comprehensive school physical fitness educational policies, reduce obesity, mortality, and morbidity. We want to decrease obesity-related disparities, provide ongoing trainings and technical assistance. So once again, I said process and outcome evaluation. Doing a process evaluation enables us to describe and access your program activities and then link them to your progress to outcomes. One of the goals we said was to increase the proportion of adolescents who meet current federal physical activity guidelines for aerobic physical activity from 28% to 35% in 3 years. Then for outcome evaluation, it can be described to focus on short-term, intermediate, and long-term outcomes on the larger model. It also identifies behavioral outcomes and linkage between intervention and quantitative measures effects. Another goal that we named was the VERB Program in Columbus, Mississippi will increase the proportion of adolescents who meet current physical activity guidelines for aerobic physical activities from 28% to 35% in 3 years. What will we be evaluating in this program? Well, we have the VERB Summer Scorecard Program. We have a media campaign. We have educational material, school policies, program physical activities. Just to name a few of the evaluation questions linked with the activity. We have, does the state support your youth obesity program? Are resources adequate for the task? What community-based organizations are going to participate in the program? Are media reaching the targeted population? Was there any increase in physical activity among participants? How many students participated in the VERB program? How will we get the results out there? And so what we did, we came up with a timeline for Columbus, and in January we wanted to actually start planning and get everybody at the round table to actually discuss what this program will be doing with the parents, school officials, funders, and we will do an overview of social marketing. And then in February we will go on with coalition meetings, and March program staff meeting. April, then we will implement one-day retreat to work on subcommittees, two-day workshops in social marketing by MUW Outreach Center. And then as you can see, we go on and on and on. And then in summer 2016, that's when we will launch the VERB program. Fall, we will evaluate the 2016 summer scorecards. And then in spring, we will launched the 2017 VERB Summer Scorecard Program. And then in 17, which will be next year during the summer, that we could take what was learned from what happened in the previous year and apply it to the upcoming year to be even more successful. In those areas that we lack, we can improve on. These are the results, and this is what this was a chart that we put together on how to who we want to include, who will actually help us in the dissemination of the results. So we have the stakeholders column, and then we had their interest and what they wanted. Then we have the role, what role they played or will play in the evaluation, and how to engage them. I would go through each one, but for lack of time, I'm going to keep going. Okay, and for communicating plans, what information will be needed to communicate to the audience? And our audience, as you can see, was the MUW Resource Center, CDC funding agents, coalition, community meetings, subcommittees, parents, students, and so on. In what format will we communicate this to? A media work plan, financial reports, social marketing reports, group meetings, evaluation work plan, and then the channels will be, and what channels we will use to be most effective. And we said informal meetings, technical assistance to the staff and director, VERB program activity agendas. And this is just ensuring follow-up. What will we do during the follow-up process with our funders, Boys and Girls Club, some other community partners. And this support is available for follow-up, and for instance, we'll do funders, and then in the matter, funding resources, programs effectiveness, and program improvement. And then what is available for follow-up is to help to prevent misuse of results by ensuring that evidence is applied to the questions that are in the evaluation central focus. And then we will remind users of the intent uses of what has been learned. I'm sorry that I'm talking so fast, but I'm trying to finish. Then this is just a continuation of what was stated before in the slide before. And these are my final thoughts on the whole program. And I just felt that personally it was a great program to use as an example, but it was already established and had been performed, evaluated, and they had tons of information on the VERB program. But I wish we could have hypothetically created our own program and written a evaluation plan based on the coursework that we have learned in the class and actually apply it to our evaluation plan. And although the program wasn't implemented in Kentucky through CDC, it was a success, and I felt that I could have learned more had we created our own program of interest. There were many different resources available on the VERB program, educational materials, briefings on how to share success stories, and write dissemination plans for the program. This was a great class this semester, and I will continue to use what I have gained from the class in my daily work activities. And as you may know, I already have stated that I work in evaluation, and so I'm still learning it. And it's one of those things that a person that's not strong in evaluation like myself, it can tend to be intimidating to me. But the class actually helped me this semester, and me going to trainings for work actually understand how evaluation is supposed to work. And I plan to do that long term, because one thing about evaluation, you can take it to any department, any career area that a student may choose or you may choose. So those were my thoughts on what we did. And again, I want to say, Dr. Murphy, you were an awesome teacher. You was always there if we needed help or had questions. And once again, I thank you for doing it, for breaking us up into groups. Me and Lawrence worked great as a team. We had no issues, no problems. We helped each other. And I'm really going to miss this class, and I'm going to miss having Lawrence in class with me. But I absolutely enjoyed program evaluation with you this semester. And then for my final slide, these are the resources that we use to complete this. Thank you.